Meanwhile, when Marich had been struck by Ram's arrow and was about to die, he resumed his own Rakshasa form and cried aloud in a voice which was an exact imitation of Ram's, "Ah, Lakshman! Ah, Sita!" Ram now realized how the Rakshasa had beguiled them, and how he had been drawn away a long distance by the crafty Marich. Alas, we have been badly deceived. It would be terrible if Lakshman is also deceived by this cry and leaves Sita alone to come to my aid. It looks as though the Rakshasas have planned this trick to carry off Sita and eat her. When Sita hears what she will believe is my cry of distress, she is sure to insist on Lakshman leaving her and rushing to my help. The howling of jackals and the behavior of birds now foretells of disaster. There is some danger close at hand. I can see it. Saying this to himself, Ram hurried back to the ashram. On the way he saw Lakshman running towards him. Alas, the worst I fear has happened. He held Lakshman's hands and cried, "Why did you leave Sita alone in the forest? You may be sure the Rakshasas have killed and eaten her. It was not right for you to leave her and come away. It is now all over with Sita." Fatigued and thirsty with the futile chase, and now overwhelmed with anger and unbearable anxiety, Ram cried again, "If I do not see Sita in the ashram when I return, I shall surely die, Lakshman. You will return to Ayodhya, the survivor of us three, and tell them what has happened. Oh, how will Kausalya bear her grief? Lakshman, you have more than fulfilled Kaikeyi's wishes. The Rakshasas will by now have expressed to Sita, poor unprotected Sita, all their pent-up hatred against us. They must have killed and eaten her up by now. How could you leave her alone and come away? How could you be deceived by Marich's false cry?" What shall I do now? I shall see Sita no more. The Rakshas's plan has succeeded. My trust in you was misplaced, and I shall never see Sita again. How could you leave her and come away? How could you, Lakshman? Lakshman answered with tears in his eyes. What else, brother, could I do? When Sita heard the cry, "Ah, Sita! Ah, Lakshman!" she was frightened. Quivering with fear, she urged me to go to you at once, and she would tolerate no delay. She persisted, whatever I said to the contrary. I told her again and again not to be afraid, and assured her that no foe was strong enough to do you harm, and that the cry of distress was not yours, but she would not listen. She charged me with having turned traitor to you, and with having come to the forest with sinful intentions. Oh, brother, she even found it possible in her anguish to say, "I would be glad of your death out of sinful intentions towards herself." I was half dead with horror on hearing those words of hers. And then she announced that she would kill herself if I did not go then. Mad herself, she maddened me with her words of reproach, and I ran towards you, not knowing what else to do. But Ram was not satisfied. Whatever a foolish woman might have said in her fright, you should have stayed and not left her unprotected. How could you do such a foolish thing? You have brought calamity on me. I shall never see Sita again. The two hurried to the ashram. Many bad omens appeared on their way, and Ram repeated, as he saw them one by one, "Oh, I fear, we shall never see Sita again." reaching the ashram, they found it as they had feared. Empty. Sita was not there. The deerskin, the kusha grass, the mat spread as a seat, all lay scattered on the ground. Ram wept and ran here and there in the grove round the cottage. The leaves and flowers on the trees had faded. Sita was nowhere to be seen. He wandered about like a crazed man. His eyes were bloodshot, and he cried, "Alas! Have they eaten her up? Have they carried her away? Oh, how she must have trembled in terror! I cannot bear the thought of it. Could it be that she has gone to the river? Yes. Could she have gone to the river to fetch water? Could it be that she has gone out maybe to pick flowers? Come, let us see." And he went searching among the trees, hoping that perhaps she was hiding and playing a practical joke on him. Out of a deep sense of separation, he called the trees one by their names and beseeched them for help. "O Ashok tree, be true to your name. Remove my sorrow. You must know the truth. Tell me where Sita is now. O tall palm tree, you must be able to see where Sita is. Tell me, where is she?" He talked to the animals too. "O tiger, the elephant and the deer are afraid to tell me the truth. But you know no fear. You can tell me what has happened. You know everything. Tell me the truth. Oh, Sita, you are hiding somewhere. Stop this fooling. I can't stand it any longer." After wandering and weeping in vain for a long time, he fell on the ground moaning. "Lakshman, Sita!" He cried like an elephant trapped in a pit. "Lakshman, Sita is nowhere. The Rakshasas have captured her and torn her to pieces and eaten her up. How can I live anymore? My end is near. But when my father sees me in the other world, he will say, 'Why have you come here, my son, before fulfilling my command?' Ah, I have failed. In everything I have failed." Lakshman could bear this sight no longer and said, "Brother, it is not right that you should cry like this. Let us search through the forest. You know how fond Sita is of entering caves and thickets. She may be bathing in the river or playing somewhere, or maybe gathering flowers. Let us search more. She's probably only testing us. Come, let us search again, but please do not lament." The two searched again all over the place, on hills, by pools, and on the river bank, but they did not find her. Ram moaned, "Oh, what shall I do now?" Lakshman tried to encourage him with words of hope, but Ram was inconsolable. No, my brother. There is no hope. Sita is nowhere. I have lost her. There is no point in me going on any longer." He lay unconscious for a time. Then he came to himself and lifted his voice and wept. Nothing that Lakshman said could comfort him. Ram said, "Lakshman, How can I go back to Ayodhya? They will laugh at me for returning alone after allowing Sita to be killed and eaten by Rakshasas, having brought her to the forest and having failed to protect her. What shall I tell her father, King Chanak? Better you go back. Go alone to Ayodhya. Go and look after our mothers. Greet Bharat for me and tell him it was my dying wish that he should continue to rule as king. All Lakshman's efforts to console Ram were in vain. He was convinced that the Rakshasas had carried away Sita and torn her to pieces and eaten her up. He pictured to himself in detail the horror of her suffering and cried in his grief, "Oh, Sita! Sita, who accompanied me, thinking I could protect her, has been eaten by the Rakshasas, and I can do nothing about it. Is there a greater sinner than me in the entire world?" Lakshman said, "Do not lose heart. You must be bold and energetic. A resolute mind can conquer fate. Let us make a more thorough search of the forest. Instead of yielding to unavailing sorrow, let us be manly and active." But Ram would not listen. We must now pause briefly here to reflect on this poignant situation and the way in which Lord Ram has reacted to it. From external appearances, it would seem that the Lord is afflicted by the weakness of worldly grief. However, for one to harbor such a thought is an offense against the deity and should be strenuously avoided by the seeker of enlightenment for the following reasons. One must bear in mind that Lord Ram is omnipotent and thus could easily have prevented Sita's abduction. He is also omniscient, so he knows exactly where she is and what is happening to her. Further, it is he who has written this scenario and who has already arranged for and knows its final outcome. Therefore, the idea of Ram being truly grief-stricken becomes preposterous. Rather, he is playing a part in a drama that he himself has set in motion. The Lord, in order to accomplish various purposes, which will be revealed as the story progresses, has allowed the kidnapping to occur. He has also pretended to be afflicted by it like an ordinary man, but this is to enable us, the listener or reader, to more readily identify with him. Such identification and the empathy it brings helps us to become more intimately absorbed in and attached to the Lord and his transcendental activities. This spiritual exercise not only aids us in learning moral lessons by our closely observing Lord Ram's conduct and decisions, but also purifies the heart of its ignorance and illusions and makes it gradually fit for God realization.